All right, Sadiq Miriam, you are welcome. Good evening, guys, and welcome to the second class tonight. This is MAC134, Public Relations, Principles of Public Relations. So, I need someone to remind us where we stopped in the previous class. As we did, we stopped on, what was that again? Okay, I think that should be, yes, Kenechukwu, you are welcome. I need someone to remind us where we stopped to wait for the material to load. Where did we stop in the last class? That is component of public relations. But before then, excuse me, this is very fun. Okay, should we say factors, important terms that partakes in the definition of public relation? We say public relation is deliberate, is planned, it is a process, of course, it's a mutual interest. So we talked about everything there is to talk about to help us appreciate and understand what public relation is all about. Now, the principles that guide or allows for public relation. So today our concept is components of public relation. Components of public relation. And we'll be talking about the different categories of applications where you can or where public relation is useful. Public relations is a very complex activity with different areas of specialization. Daramola in 2003 identified some of those areas of specialization as follows. One, employees relation. Public relation covers employees relation. How? Building better relationships between employees and management, especially in complex organizations where the lines of communication between management and workers become stressful as the workforce of a company expands. Public relation will help to build better relationship between all powers, divisions that are in an organization or that exist in an organization. So one thing public relation helps to do, one area of specialization of public relation is employees relations. The second one is industrial relations. And what do we mean by that? Providing advice to management to improve mutually beneficial relations between a company and other businesses within the same industry and related ones, and in the areas of suppliers, distributors, competitors, and labor unions. Employees, workers within an organization, industry, different companies producing maybe similar goods or even related products. So public relations serves as a form of uh, a catalyst to improve the beneficial relationship that exists between companies. That is for industrial relations. Then it also specializes in community relations. And what do we mean by that? Planned activity to create a relationship of good neighborliness between an organization and other companies, as well as groups within the community in which it is located. Planned activity to create relationship of good neighborliness. That means it helps us live in harmony in the community. Good public relations influence the community to live in harmony. Now we have customer relations. All we are talking about is trying to see the facet in which public relations can be useful, the area of specialization. We started with, of course, the employees relation, we have the industrial relation, we have the community relation, and now we are going to customer relation. And customer relations involves developing better relationships with the massive consuming public. Those are the potential customers, people that are purchasing the products that the company is offering. So, and sustaining the goodwill of customers in particular and consumes or consumers in general. Now that is for customer relation. They help us in creating good relationship with the consumers. We have financial relation. And what does this mean? Public relation also influences financial yes, Madam Bolu, good evening. Dora, you are welcome. Victor, you are welcome. Sadiq Miriam, you are welcome. Kemi Samuel, you are welcome. You guys should stay tuned. I think I should take an icebreaker now because I've been talking for long. I am going to take this icebreaker. So get prepared. Dash is a planned activity to create a relationship holiness between an organization and other companies. Realization of financial. This involves improving understanding through better communication with shareholders, stockbrokers, stock exchange market, fund managers, and insurance agencies. You know, funds to continue running their daily activities, production, and the rest of them. And by so doing, they will need investors. Public relations can help create better relationship, better image, better communication process that will help them, to get the right uh, interest of potential investors and of course stockbrokers and shareholders. Now, press relation. Of course, you know that every company, every organization has a part of them that relates to the press. This is, in fact, one of the major specialization of public relations. It involves working with the members of the press to maximize the free publicity that can be obtained for a newsworthy and correspond or respond to press inquiries as it relates. What I'm trying to say is that public relation helps to create a very sound relationship with the media so that as much as possible the organization or company can get free, maybe through their news, through mentions and the rest of them, like we actually said. Grace, you are welcome. It seems you joined. Now, we also have government relations. What are we talking about? We've been talking about areas of specializations of public relations, where public relations influences, where they have a say, where their influences or their activities are strongly needed. Now, in government relations, we have lobbying government agencies such as the legislature and regulatory agency on behalf of the organization. On behalf of, believe that there is an icebreaker here. I have two icebreakers for us. Oh, sorry, Grace, about your network. I I thank God that my own network is sound tonight, so we don't have to quarrel on that. Okay, so I think we need to look for the meaning of lobbying. Is someone helping us out? What does it mean to lobby? I know some of you know the meaning already, but let's not that everybody in the class knows the meaning of lobbying. A very, very close synonym we can use for lobbying is persuading someone to change or influencing them, you know, to probably come down on a policy, a plan, a decision that they have made in a way that will favor you. So that is especially in the government aspect, the government related matters. Now we have special event. The special event, this is used to stimulate interest in a product, person, or organization through activities designed to interact with public through staged events. So for special event, it's a kind of uh, specialization for the public relation officers, where he or she needs to stimulate the interest of the public on a product, stimulate interest in a product, person, or organization through activities designed to interact with public by staging events. They do this a lot during election period. They do this a lot during election period. Now, counseling, well, you may be wondering what is counseling doing in public relation specialization. Well, let's see. Advising organizations about how to understand and mobilize the public as well as interpret themselves. This will reduce criticisms and hostility from the press and pressure groups in the society. That is counseling. They give professional advices to the organization they work with to help them have a better way of presenting themselves, to mobilize public interest and create a good image for themselves. Another specialization of public relations is research. Public relations undergoes research, or they do research. Why do they do research? They do this to determine attitudes and behaviors of relevant publics through research so as to plan public relations strategies. Research can be used to generate understanding as well as influence and persuade the public. I can see that quite a lot of us are having challenges with our network tonight. So there's a tendency I will stop it under publicity. As soon as we get to publicity, I may end the class. Now, another thing the public relation does is publicity. This involves the dissemination of planned messages using selected media to promote the organization's or what we've done so far tonight. We are talking about the components of public relations. Help you to know the areas of specialization of public relations. We have it in employee relations, customer relations, financial relations, press relations, government relations, special event, counseling, research, and publicity. Now, as a form of icebreaker and classwork, I would say list five, everybody online, list five area of specializations of, oh, sorry, area of specialization of public relations. Five, just five. Each of you should leave five, five. Don't say somebody have mentioned what I want to mention. I'm with you guys. Yes, I am waiting for you guys. Yes, I can relate. I see that the network is so bad tonight. So that is on your side. The network do behave like something experiencing kwashiorkor. Sometimes it sound here, on the other hand. But I believe you guys can still answer the question before we end the class. Mention five area of specialization of public relation. Since MTN is having a general issue tonight, I'll make a suggestion that we end the class now and we have a reschedule for it, maybe tomorrow or so. What do we have tomorrow? Tomorrow should be yes 102. Okay, there's a tendency we will mesh it tomorrow with another. Sorry, with that after just 102, we complete the class. Let me see that your timetable. Yes, tomorrow is just 102. We still have time tomorrow to complete this class. Notwithstanding, I've seen Kenneth Chukwu. He has made his own submission. He said employee relations, community relations, industrial relations, customer relations, press relations. Thank you, Kenneth Chukwu. You've been following. That is absolutely correct. So, For the rest of us, uh, go through it again. Maybe when your network is fine, you can still rewatch this short episode of the class. Do have a wonderful night rest. Enjoy the rest of your evening. See you guys tomorrow.